Oh, well, it takes me about the year. They're not all new poems, so some of them go back a bit, you see.
Yeah.
But it takes me about a year to put it all together, and it gets a little bit frenetic as you realise you're putting yourself on the line with all this stuff.
And when you're writing them, are they written for performance A, and B, are they written with Claire and her flute in mind?
No, we've just worked very well together, haven't we, Claire? And it's really lovely the way the music sets the mood for the poems. I always think music and poetry go well together, and the poetry needs the music in some ways to help it along in people's imaginations.
Now, you see, if I was a musician, which I'm not, I would either play a flute or a cello. Okay. So why the flute for you?
Oh, it's got to be the flute. The flute is the best instrument ever. You can start when you're wee. I've got some pupils that are very tiny on little tiny instruments. It makes the whole array of noises like you wouldn't believe. My thing is contemporary performance, so I do lots of crazy sounds. I do beatboxing, all sorts of weird and wonderful, weird and wonderful things. So a flute is the most versatile instrument, but I don't think people quite realise that.
Have you heard her beatboxing with it?
No.
Go on.
I don't know.
Hey, so it's here. I mean, go on.
I've messed it up now.
Wow. My God, well, go on, put it back down again. So you've got to. Wow, that's amazing. So is that something you teach yourself? Is that something that just comes as a natural extension of your technique?
I heard a few different people doing it. I went on a course last year and worked on it a little bit, and for the past year, that's what I've been working on. So I'm hoping to do lots more of that and take it out there and see where we go with it, because I think it's really exciting.
Audrey, these poems are inspired by a particular part of East Yorkshire?
Yes, Londsborough. Do you know it?
I do know it very well. Beautiful.
It's a good cricket ground, I think.
It's a gorgeous part of the world.
Oh, it's magical. I was so lucky to live there.
Oh, did you live there?
Yes, I rented a cottage, you see, because they're all rented properties. So I rented a cottage and lived there for 3 years.
Marvellous.
Yes, it was so lovely. It's absolutely indescribable.
So some of the ideas for the poems go back. You mentioned already. They're not necessarily been written in the last year. How far back do they go?
Well, it was in 1996 to about 98 or 9 that I lived there, and so they do go back, but. They've also affected what I've written afterwards, you see, because nature is such a wonderful subject.
Well,
and we all long for it, don't we, really? To walk in the quiet park, on the narrow path through the trees, inwardly watching the bird hop branch to branch in the silence. To consider one's feet on the path, how they measure the distance step by step, twigs cracking underfoot, breaking the silence, but gently, the small, comforting sounds at the hub of life, the deep silence of small things, everyday things, tender hopes setting out, memories of the good, the face of someone you love.
How does it work then with you guys? So, Claire, do you turn up with ideas in mind that will work with the poems, or do you hear the poems first, or do you ad-lib it? What do you do? Yeah,
well, Audrey let me read her poem. She read one to me, and I was taken by it instantly. And she let me take the draft, and I read them through. Actually, I went to Pearson Park and sat and read them, which was lovely. And a few of them, just instantly, I knew either the kind of music that they wanted or specific pieces. And it's the first time I've worked like this. I think Audrey's worked with a singer before, haven't you? But this is a little bit different.
Yes.
And it's really interesting because normally when I'm programming a concert, I'm just working literally just with the music. So to have something to work with is really given it a different flavour for me. And pieces that I've had a kind of set image in mind have changed now working with the poetry. So it's great.
How interesting. And what about you with the poetry, Audrey? I mean, now you've heard what Claire's bringing to it. Are you kind of getting a different feel for the poetry?
Well, in actual fact, this is our first rehearsal, you see. We don't need heaps of rehearsal time, but we need to see what fits with which poem. And when she played the first piece, I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to read this.
Yeah.
I shall just cry. It's so moving,
It's so
isn't
emotive,
it? And it makes the words feel as if they fit, you see. It's such a lovely feeling. So this is the first time we've actually had a proper run, isn't it?
Oh, interesting.
So
You've
works
got
well.
15 poems. So 15 poems and 15 pieces of music?
I'm not sure we're going to be able to fit them all in, are we, really?
Well, you see, what we thought was that I would do some talk in between, and Claire would do a bit of talk and explain the pieces. But as we've tried it out here, it seems a shame to interrupt the flow with a lot of talk. Do you agree?
Oh, well, just watching you two doing your thing there, I was kind of thinking, I can see how you're going to stand there with your flute, and it's going to be terrific. Audrey, you're going to melt off the stage a little bit, then you're going to come. I think it works like that. Yeah.
But what I thought was that we might do the chatter at the beginning, the middle, and the end, and we can have a little dialogue, can't we, about it working, you see. So that draws the audience in, which is nice for them.
And Claire, you teach then as well as play?
Yeah, I'm primarily a singing teacher and a flute teacher and bits of other kind of music as well. So it's lovely to get together and do more playing.
Yeah.
You know, I do as much as I can, but teaching is very time-consuming.
And is it too? Perhaps it doesn't allow you. Perhaps you don't have time within the teaching to take your pupils outside the framework of what you're teaching them. But I can imagine exercises and summer schools where you do more of this kind of thing, and what a great sort of learn that will be for them as well.
Exactly, yeah. It's great to get them to see it actually in action.
Yeah.
And I think as anybody that's wanting to be a musician today really has to get out and try different things such as this, because I think this is the future of music making, getting together with different artists in different spaces and exploring different things. So I think that's really exciting.
As you were under the bend of the supple reed, I hear you whisper as the stream whispers over the edge of the rock as it falls into the lake, recalling your green foot, the nettle spread of your toe, the meadow-sweet umbles and sticky sweet plum of your lumbering thighs, weed-like and wonderful. What an abundance of arms you have grown, how they wrap and lace and continue to reach.